Well, hello. Look at me remembering to keep my microphone off mute. I'm so proud of myself. And I didn't even need Anne Marie to tell me today. Mm. All right, I have my feet bare, no socks or shoes on. I have my water with a cover so my kitty wouldn't drink it. I have my number 10 round brush. I have a couple stencils here because, as you know, actually, this is kind of kitty wampus. I like to use some stencils in my backgrounds and in creating the fur and whatnot in my aminos. So today I am going to do a platypus. Um, I couldn't remember if I had said what I was going to do yesterday, which I apologize for. Um, but we're going to do a platypus today just because it seems fun. And it'll be a challenge because I'm going to want to like do a face like, like a regular type of animal, but platypi, is that right? Platypi are kind of special. So we're going to give that a go. I have my bubble water. I'm going to use my stencil. I've been thinking about my use of stencils when I do my background, and I think what it does is I do the outline of it. I'm debating if I should go this way. I think I'm going to go this way. I do my outline through the stencil, and what it kind of does is it makes it so I don't have these straight lines. So if I do my outline through a stencil for my animal or whatever, if it's not right, it doesn't look as bad when I go to change it later. You know what I mean? It just gives some more texture and stuff. And then if the color shows through, the pattern shows through, it just adds to it. So as usual, or as is my norm, because sometimes I don't, I'm going to start out with turquoise for my outline. Hello to whomever's here. Um, and the hardest part about this is it's like mixing a bird and a mammal. So, and I know I'm going to make it cutesy. I'm probably going to make the eye bigger than it should be. I'm still kind of looking at my pictures trying to decide what angle I want. No, maybe I'll go this way. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. The worst that can happen. And when doing, I like to do this live without a sketch because it kind of shows how I fix my mistakes when I'm working. It kind of gives you an idea. And it's easier to fix mistakes and stuff with watercolors. I mean, I could show live with acrylics, but a lot of times to fix my errors with acrylics, I really have to wait for things to dry and it takes a long time. And I just realized I think that's kind of off. But again, I just blot it and then I can move this over. So I want his weird little head. I'm looking at reference photos and they're so odd shaped. They don't have like a real circle head. Let's see. But let's see. I know I'm putting in kind of like a head mark, like where the head ends, just for ease of process for myself. And it's weird because they have a bill and lips, you know? All right, let's go like this. All right, that is not the best outline I've ever done. And if anybody's there who can talk, if you could let me know how everything looks. I tried not using my lamp on my table today. I'm hoping that helps with the color a little bit. I'm realizing that's crooked. Let's put something underneath that. There. All right, so I think that might work. Let's figure out, because their bodies go out. It's almost like a beaver. That's one I should do. I need some more ideas for my little animals here. I still got a list of them, but I like to pick and choose because sometimes I feel a groove with a certain animal that I want to do. And now I'm paranoid. I'm pretty sure I have my microphone on, but I'm going to double check. Yes, my microphone is on. It's crazy. I don't know. All right. So, so here, by doing that, I can see that when I did his bill right here, I made it tapered, and his bill isn't really tapered so much. It's kind of squared off on the bottom. I really wish I could show you my reference photos, but like I always say, um, right before I do this, I just do a mad search for like a handful of the animals, a handful of whatever animal I'm doing. So it makes it rather hard. So we have, there's like a line there, and this comes down. They're so neat looking. I can't imagine seeing one in person. Can you imagine the first person who ever saw one who was used to like North American or European animals? I bet you they said, "Holy Hannah." All right, so the way I did this, oh, his eye is going to be right there, right on the edge. Won't even hardly see. Let's see, I might have to scale him back a little bit. So this is an area where you can see how I change things. Now, because I'm changing it up so drastically on this one, I am just going to leave this here, and I'm going to change to another color. So what color should we change to? Let's go with a red. Because the worst that can happen is we use this as part of our background. So I need to bring, I'm going to use the lines here. But I'm going to kind of change the angles from what they have in in my reference pictures. Kitty, no, you can't drink my paint water. I don't know what it is with this cat and paint water. All right, that brings that up a little bit. And today is the day I get to go to the Herd Museum again. So this is going to be a fun day. They have such a beautiful collection of Native American art, pottery, weaving, just all kinds of awesome, awesome handmade stuff. And it has a history of a lot of the Native Americans in the area. All right, there's an eye. And then we don't have much of his ear on here, but we can give the essence of that. So the cat is just sitting there waiting for me to take my lid off my water. Because she is a bad girl. And then we can bring this. I might try to throw in a little bit of an eye here. Oops. See, look at this kitty cat. Her fur is flying everywhere. She is shedding so bad. I feel sorry for the people who come to my house who are allergic. Shannon, who comes on the weekends, she's allergic to cats, but she still cuddles on this little girl because she is just one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet. But she's naughty too. All right. All right, so I think I have the basic outline going on here. I know it doesn't look like anything fancy. Now I'm just going to soften some lines up. And I think I'm going to go in. I want to figure out what I want for a dark color. I've realized that I like to do like underpaintings in dark colors and then use realistics on top and just let some of those show through. I think I'm going to do some greens, some dark greens. I have this weird little like army green, more of a sagey green. I'm going to mix that with a dark green just to get. I'm going to use that for my black, all my black areas. So, oh, yay. I hope you guys can't hear that. I really hope you can't hear that. That is so gross. My cat just coughed up a hairball. Yeah. I'm just going to soften these lines up, bring it up and shadow some of the stuff. I really want to add, because there is like a soft shadow like right behind the eyes, but it's almost like, I don't know, they're just odd. His head is, his eye, I am going to do big. I just like it. And then his ear comes out right here. So again, I'm just doing layers and layers of color. Like even the camel, if you saw pictures of the camel, I know today I was a little bit better at sharing that this was going on live. So if you follow me and you saw the camel that I did yesterday, this is basically the same process I did with that camel, even with the bright colors and the odd colors underneath. I think I'm going to go in with some purpley turquoise. I'm going to mix these two up. Excuse me. I'm boiping. Actually, it's turning into a gray on me. Let's add a little bit of red. There it is. And I try not to give up because yesterday with that camel, I really thought I messed it up. I really did. I was, oh, you guys stop. The cats are mad because it's too hot for me to have the door open. So my one cat is tearing around like a, I don't know, like some sort of rabid animal. See, and then this, I am going to go in with some of this tan color. Even though his bill is black, I don't want to do a straight black. So I'm just kind of mixing all these colors around the bottom. All these browns and blacks and stuff. Just to get a nice dark color. We got to get, because this is going up and then this goes down. And like even right now, I'm paranoid I'm screwing this up and it's going to turn out horrible. But you know what? We have to be brave sometimes. And that's what this live stream is all about. Oh, you don't know what a platypus is? It is isn't it a marsupial? They have web feet like a duck, a bill like a duck, and I think they lay eggs, but they produce milk and they're warm-blooded. So it's like they're like a neat. I think they're Australian, or is it New Zealand? I think it's Australia. So if you do a quick Google search on it, you'll see, and you'll be like, "What in the wide world of sports is that?" So I'm going to try to keep today. I'm hoping to finish this in an hour because I really want to. I got to take a shower because I'm a funky girl right now. So I need to take a shower and then get down and pick up my friend at her hotel. The hotel she is staying in is beautiful. It's, I went in there real quick. It's like the type of place that in the lobby they have cucumber water and lemon water for the guests. They They have a beautiful courtyard. You can bring your dog there, and their menu, they even have a puppy menu, so you can order food for your dog. All right, I need to find a clean piece of paper towel. This is what happens whenever I use spray inks. I like to keep the paper towels with the ink on them because I use them later. Because it's like throwing away ink if you just throw away that paper towel. Like a lot of times I'll just take that and spray it and let the color saturate into my paper. All right. We need to lighten this up a little bit. Oh, this is rounded because his other eye is right there. If you follow me on Facebook, or if you have a Facebook, I tend to post on Instagram, so it automatically posts to my Facebook. I'm trying to remember to post those on my art page, but it's all automatic posting on my Facebook page instead of my art page. So sometimes I forget to post there. But on Facebook, on my regular thing, you can follow me and you can see some of these finished products. I usually post the finish when I'm done. And I have his foot just a little bit too far up. Yep, that's supposed to be his foot. I want his bill to come out just a little bit more. There we go. Now I'm getting the shape down. And it's weird because he's got black lips, a black lower lip. And again today, I think I'm going to go in. Hey, Christine. Hey, Claudine. I think I'm going to use, I'm really liking the yellows for a highlight color when I'm doing brown animals. I love bubble water. There's just something wonderful about drinking something with the word bubble in it. Bubble tea, bubble water. I love it all. Let's see here. I was going to do one pose of a platypus, but then I realized in my searches, because I just searched platypus, that the pose that I like the most, that is the same one that almost all the artists that I saw on my random search were doing, so I didn't want to do that one. It would have been much easier to do that one. All right, let's get the shape of this bill is just kind of wonky. Remember, I'm mixing a little bit of brown with that black, so it's not so harsh. I know you might not be able to see the brown in it from your point of view. And then his lip. Ugh. All right, I'm not going to think about the cat puke on the floor until after this is done. I'm just letting it sit there. It's going to bother me. It is already getting warm in my studio today. I hold out until the last possible moment to turn on my AC. I am one of those people. It's supposed to hit 103 today, but I won't be home. And my pet's in the other room. And the rest of the house, it stays pretty cool most of the day. But back here, boy, ooh. But the one nice thing about the warm weather is my pets sleep most of the day. So, oops, I forgot to turn off my phone. Sorry. Um, oh, let's see. Where do you get your inspiration for what you choose to paint? Oh, I just ask. If you have an idea for an animal that you would like to see, let me know. Um, I am happy to do anything. Yeah, Claudine, isn't it a weird one? That's why it makes it so hard because it has all these features that belong to all these different animals, and it's just an odd. It's I was gonna say it's an odd duck, but it's not a duck. So I know I love my cats, but one of my friends said I was wasting electricity in my house because I always leave the hall light on in my house. There's always there's always some sort of light everywhere. She's like, "You're wasting electricity." And um, whenever she would come, she would turn off the light. I'm like, "Turn that back on." She's like, "You're wasting electricity." I'm like, "All right, I would rather waste electricity than step." I said it's night lights. I waste hardly any. I said then step in cat puke and waste the electricity needed to use my water heater to heat water. Everything that goes along with clean up cat puke. So I said in the long run, it wastes more electricity not to have that light on. All right. Oh, dolphin? I could do a dolphin. Um, I do not live in an area where there's platypus. No, I do not. I've seen one once at a zoo, but I do not live in an area where they are native. I I can't remember if someone correct me. Is it Australia that they are in, or is it New Zealand? I know it's a down under country, a place where it's tomorrow. All right, I'm just getting some basic shapes here because there's this weird shadow. And look what happens when you dry brush. Look at that texture in there. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So we got that going. All right, now I'm going to go in with some more of these browns. And I am just throwing color to the wind. Throwing this color in. This is like my mid-tone. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. We'll go here. Because there is almost like a weird fur neckline going on right there. But if you notice, look at how you can see where my outline has changed since then. Like I have the shape is off. Even the green outline that I did has changed. But because it's watercolor, you can kind of move it around a little bit. I want to know who named it Platypus. How it got that name. The hard part is there's this slight angle right here on the bill because this goes up the nose or up onto his forehead. And so figuring out the slight change in direction, I gotta kind of get that in there so you can tell something's going on. Oops, shoot. I did not want that dark. And for some reason today, I'm using a huge amount of water. I mean, I always use a lot of water, but today I'm using more than normal. So unsure of why I'm doing that. Like it is just straight up puddled on there. All right. I think that's supposed to be a lip right there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to fix this. I gotta do something because I shouldn't have put a black mark here. I had to figure out what I want. Do I want him in the water? Do I want him on land? What do I want? And again, I can't say enough good about this journal because look at how much I can work this and really push the color around. And the journal is holding up beautifully. I was afraid that, you know, because it's a journal that I can afford, like before I was making my own hot press watercolor journals, I was thinking that it wouldn't be very good paper. I should have known better because, you know, Jane Davenport, it was her baby, so I would she's a person of true character. Let's see. No, I don't use gouache. I don't have any. And cat puke can equal thyroid issue, or it can just mean hairball because my cat is shedding right now, so she's been bathing. So she hacked up a big old nasty hairball over there. So thank you for your concern about the thyroid thing, but it's it's a hairball because it's shedding season. If it was just straight puke, I would be worried, but it's a hairball. 'Tis the season. And it probably wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't such a cheap, if I wasn't so cheap and I turned on my air. But because I leave the windows open and I just kind of let the seasons change inside and outside the house, um, they shed more. When I used to live in apartments, my cats didn't shed half as much because it's a controlled environment, you know, or more of a controlled environment. All right, we got to figure out his little nostrils are going to be right about here. All right, I think I may have the basics here. Gouache is like watercolor, but it's not transparent. It's more opaque. I do not have any, but I would love some. But um, because I haven't tried them, oh my gosh. See, I'm looking at my live picture and I'm realizing his bill is too thick. It should be thinner. Yep, yahoo. All right, I gotta turn this and thin his bill down. All right. That's why it's good to step back from what you're doing sometimes. Because I wouldn't have even noticed if I wouldn't have looked at the live stream. And that's kind of like stepping back and looking at what you're doing. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can pull some more of that up. And it does suck. I got the black down before I noticed it. The nice thing about doing a platypus is no matter what happens, because it's a weird little guy, he's going to look like a weird little guy. And, oops, too much water. And my scale is slightly off. This needs to come down. I think I might actually have to pull out my pencil today because it's out of the norm. It's hard to have reference, you know, like even doing the camel yesterday. There's so many other animals with their eyes on either side of their head. In doing a duck, you have the bill, but this isn't really a duck bill because it goes up on the forehead and then it goes, yeah, it's just kitty wampus. All right, let me dry this real quick and see what's happening. Oh, I have some ink pens. I like those too. In hindsight, for myself, I wish I would have gotten the Inktense blocks instead of the pencils because you can do a lot more with the blocks because you can color with them like a pencil, but you can also do the shaving and do the watercolor, like the liquid watercolors with them. They're easier to use on fabric. So again, hindsight, I wish I would have gotten the Inktense blocks and the Elegant Writer. They are fun. And also with the Elegant Writer, see, I should own stock in some of these things. With the Elegant Writer, when I buy them, I like to buy like 2 or 3. So like I'll be using the Elegant Writer, and then one will start to wear out, so I'll switch to the next one, but I'll keep that old one. And then like you can work back and forth because when you add water to those, the effect is so awesome. I love it. All right, this little fella is going to drive me batty, I think. I think this is the hardest one yet because I can't get a feel for, you know what, there is white in this. Let me see. Usually I use it to mix with things and I rarely use it alone. A little bit too much water. All right. I'm wondering if maybe this little highlight line will help me out a little bit. I'm thinking we need, I think it's time to go in with my Jane pen. Let me dry this again. We might have found the one that broke me on this one. I wish this was more than bubble water. This is one to make me drink. Let's see. First, I'm going to get this line in here where it needs to be. I want to get my dark shadow there. In hindsight, I should have probably stuck to the purple for the dark color instead of going in with the black. Just because the layers would have worked a little bit better. You know what I'm saying, yo? So I'm actually going to kind of do that a little bit. Just going to add in here some of, I think that's long enough. I don't think he's going to be fabulous. I think he'll be okay. If it keeps on going in this, going this way, I may not date or sign this one. So this might need to go a little bit lower. Here we go. This kind of puts that in there. That needs to be there anyway. Wish I could find, I had a piece of paper that Shannon started that had a list of all the animals. Not sure where it was. I'm going to have to write it down again. So I need to do, I want to go in with like a mix of a blue purple just over these shadow areas, just to give me just a little bit of fun. That is his little ear right there. They have the tiniest little ears. And then we go, let's see. Kind of blending that out with a little bit of tan. All right, let me dry this again and throw in my let's go in with our pen and see what happens, because they got kind of like a beady little eye. And do you know they have venom too? I can't remember if it's in their bite or what, but they have venom. So there's platypus venom, and they're actually doing, I thought a couple years ago I saw something about how they were doing research on platypus venom and how it could help treat diabetes, of all things. Oh, Uncle George, I see you're looking better. He's like, yeah, it must be that platypus venom. Yeah, can you imagine? I don't know what ever came of it, but I remember reading about or seeing it a couple years ago. All right. I think I might have the shape right. I hope I have the shape right. I'm thinking. You think my platypus is amazing? He is looking funky to me, but it's this part right here. I can see it. It's funny, I can see better, like when I look at my preview screen, I can see my mistakes better by looking at that. So I am going to go like this, because this should be more rounded, even though I just made it more squared with my pen. Just going to go right like that and kind of push it out of the way. I'm just going to have to go in there with something else. Now I'm going to activate all of this ink just so I can get that black in there. I'm trying to activate some of this ink here because I want to get some color here. I wish I had, I need to see if I have another Elegant Writer, because that would be really neat to be using in this book with some of these animals. I think I'm about to sneeze, so I apologize. Don't be afraid. It's going to happen soon. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Oh, it's getting warm in here. Oh, you knew it was what it was? Okay, good. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I have never tried to paint a platypus before, so this is like a huge challenge for me. I want to put more ink on, but with the pen it seems to work better on a dry surface. I don't want to tear up the paper. Oh, I forgot his little foot. Let's see. Because their little nostrils are actually kind of raised up. It almost looks like a heart. So this needs to come forward. I have to remember that it needs to go this way. None of my pictures that I have show if it's raised on this side. Thank you, everybody. I'm a really loud sneezer, so I always warn people if I know in advance. Like, when I was younger, my teachers actually thought I was faking sneezing that loud. That's how loud I sneeze. All right, so we got this dark. It's going to be darker on that side. And I made his nostrils a little bit too far apart, but you know what? We ain't gonna stress about it, yo. This is how life is. Aw, thank you, Christine. See, now I'm looking at a second reference photo because I was getting that because it had a better view of the nose and stuff. And now I'm seeing, I wish I would have used that the initial sketch because it's a slightly different angle, but it gives more of an idea of the shape, the actual shape of it, because there's actually kind of like a bridge right here that I can use. It's not like really super pronounced, but it's there. And just so you know, I'm going to be using my pen less and less because I'm almost out of ink. So, and it came with 3 things of ink, but I love using it so much. Yep, I really used it a lot. Yeah, because there's a, like a, it kind of goes up right there. A king vulture? I could look that up. I don't have a piece of paper to write this down. All right. All right. I think we have a good thing here. This isn't like a perfect representation because I'm seeing like technical errors left and right. Like this nose isn't quite right. The nostrils aren't right. No, I'm not gonna. Well, I always say no, I'm not gonna do that, and then you see me doing that. Ah, let's see. And this weird lip thing, I'm not quite getting it because I don't know. Let's see. And then his eye, I mean, as usual, his eye is way off course as far as size, the scope of it. I'm going to get in with that purple again, a little bit of black. And I want to do, I'm trying to do, like I said before, like where you blur out your eyes so you can see where the color is. Oh, Amazon has arrived. All right. Yeah, I'm not quite getting this because now this other picture I'm looking at doesn't have a good view of this side right here. So I can't tell exactly how that's going to work. All right. Oh, cheese and biscuits. I almost forgot. His little web foot. Let me go back to my other picture. Oops. Let's see. All right, so it's kind of like finners. They got some finner things going on. And they're webbed. Let's just go like that. Let's pretend that's right. For some reason my reference picture has his web foot way up front like that. There we go. There we go. A South American king vulture. All right. I will have to check it out and see. I'll put it on the list. And like I said, I like to have a list because then I can just go in and just look at it. Like, I really don't get sample pictures until right before. So I can look at the list and go, yeah, that feels right today, you know. I'm adding in some yellows just because I like yellow. I think yellow makes everything happy. And we'll go right in here with it a little bit. Right on top. Oops, need a little bit more water. That's a little bit bold, but you know what? We're going to live with it. This is not the most spectacular platypus on the planet. But you know what? He's our platypus, and dang it, we like him. There we go. I need to highlight the toes. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of brown to that black or yellow. Because I do got some sharp nails going on. Oh man, we've been going about an hour. All right, let's throw some heat on there. Actually, I think I need some red. I'm really liking adding red to things. It makes the browns not seem so black and the browns not seem so blah, and the blacks just pop a little bit, you know. And then every place that I have that yellow, it's going to be like orangey color. It's going to warm it right up. Okay, look at that. I think we're getting something here. I like the red in there. All right, I think it's time to add the white. And in none of these pictures, because their eyes are so beady, I can't really tell what color their eyes are. So you know what? I'm going with this with the Sedona green or Sedona brown. I don't know. I doubt that's really what the color is called, but that's what it looks like to me. Is Sedona brown. And I'm just going to fill that up there. We're going to dry it. See, I don't have white gouache, so usually I would use my Posca pen, but it's dead. So I'm just going to use a white gel pen and go in and throw in some highlights. This is going to be fun too because their fur is so reflective, especially when they're young. Some of the ones I have of, well, actually this reference picture I have of an older one, it's not as reflective. But I am going to do some creative smearing here. And I also, another thing that I used to like to use with watercolors is the Faber-Castell Pitt pen. It's actually India ink. That is nice, but I only have a bullet end. I don't even know if they make a fine point or a brush tip of the white. Well, I just realized this other picture that I have, the nose isn't raised up. I don't know. Let me blend this out a little bit because this bothers me. But I thought, oh, if it's supposed to be like that, I'll just leave it. But this one is not that noticeable. But it looks like it might want to stay there. I'm just going to go like that. So I am just adding in all the fun little hair things. And this is like a weird lip thing. I actually think it needs to come down further. Because in this picture, I came across a reference photo that I didn't look at for this. And it gives, if I would have realized I had this one, I would have done a different angle of my feller here. This one, it shows him basically from one side. This one is almost like a 3/4. The reference photo I based this on. And I'm kind of liking using this one for the fur. Did I get the eye? No, I didn't. I think on this one, this is going to be another one where adding the fur in is going to make a huge difference, you know? Let's see. And it's kind of nice that all this fur highlights like a nice white, so I can really, I don't have to worry as much. Because some of them, I'm trying to put the highlights in the fur, and the fur like highlights a red or a yellow or something like that, and then I add white, and it doesn't look as not realistic, because none of them really look realistic, but as correct. I don't know, color correct, but see, a little bit above here. I do think I might put a wash of brown over top of this. I do apologize. I am hurrying. Usually I give myself open time, but today I actually want to be somewhere. We need some fur there. What do we got going on here, feller? I like him. His bill is really weird. And his eye, if you look at a picture, his actually probably about 2 times the size it should be. But you know what? We're not going to stress about that because we're making them our own. I think I am in some of these spots because I do want the little spots of highlight for the fur. I do want them in there, but they're in many spots, they're not really that color, you know? So I'm going to go over them after with a wash of more color, just so it'll kind of go over top of that gel pen, but you'll still have the highlight. Let's see. And this. I'm just going to do an eye like I normally would because their eyes are so beady I can't really see it. So I'm just going to fake it. Let's just fake it. I have I do need a little bit of highlight here because there is that. I'm going to scribble it and then smear it. There is that like ridge. And there is this one photo I have. This is actually kind of rounded, which is weird. So I want to get that in there. I don't know. It's different, that's for sure. I made his bill a little bit too rounded, but we're going to live with it. We're going to pretend that in our world, their bills are that rounded. That's just what we're going to live with. All right. I think he is kind of platypusy though. I do like him. He's better than I thought he would be. So for that, I'm very thankful. But almost everything I do, I have a point where I'm like, ah! But like this is another one. I know I've said this before. At the beginning, I actually almost said the words out loud. Let's just turn the page. But I promised myself that I wasn't going to do that in this one. You know? All right, let's do. Well, I see that Azurmuse and Christine are talking about different supplies and stuff. I'm using this journal and this and, well, these items, and then some colored pencils sometimes, and pencil. The supply list I'm using for these daily things is not very big. Most of this stuff is stuff like if you watch your coupons, you know, if you can afford over the course of like 2 months, $100 without coupons, you could get all this stuff, you know? So, I mean, watch your coupons because I don't think, well, I don't think there's a single thing that I have here that I didn't get with a coupon, you know? So it's, as much as I want a lot of these other supplies, I try to keep my supplies limited, um, or wait until I've used something, or like I'll find something on clearance, and then if I like it, I might buy more. Um, because I learned a lesson from my mother-in-law, which is where I got a lot of my supplies from. They were doing a bunch of different scrapbooking and card making and stuff like that, and they had fun, and they go out and buy all these supplies, and then they just kind of lost interest. And I got all of the supplies. So I still have paper around. I'm thinking I might be getting rid of it. I think I might just stick to art supplies, you know. But in that too, I also like doing mixed media on canvas where you glue the paper onto your canvases and stuff. So um, I don't know. I want to do a purge of stuff, you know, things that are just collecting dust. And usually I try to give most of my supplies away because I like to share art with people. See, look at that with the color on top of it. It tones down that highlight, but it's still there. This needs to be darker. There we go. That's nice. I'm liking that. Oh, Christine, eyes. I think the reason why I'm pretty good at eyes. I mean, I have my issues too, but when I was younger, and my husband and I were together when I was younger, I remember him saying, "Ugh, why don't you draw something else other than eyes?" I'm like, I like doing eyes. So like in my journals and stuff like that, I would just practice eyes because I wanted to get them right. Because for me, the hardest part is to get that emotion in the eye, you know? I want to add some more. I just want to make his eyes pop a little bit more. Oh, actually, a little bit more shadow here. I need to kind of separate the foot from the body here a little bit. So let's just pull that. There we go. All right, now I got to figure out which stencil I want for the background. You know what I could do? I could Do I have my water stencil nearby? I'm just really liking doing these stenciled backgrounds with these. All right. I think he's okay. I do think we need more. More. No, I think he's done. I think he's really done. I'm just gonna do. Actually, you know what? See this line I have here? I want to kind of turn that into a shadow. Just because it's already there and I like it, I'm just going to do like a black and a blue mixed together underneath there. A lot of water. And just kind of, yeah, we'll just throw that shadow under there. Okay, now we'll dry it again. I need you guys to pick a color for my background. Actually, let me type it in. All right, I typed it in so you guys can answer me by the time I'm ready. Because if I would have just waited for it, I would have been like, come on, hello. Because of that delay. There is a little bit of a delay. I do want to add just some little bits of fur in there if I can. If I can. My pen is dying, guys. But I still have, this pen came with that plunger thing. So maybe I got to find out. There are some inks you cannot use with this pen. So I need to find that out. I can't remember which ones they are right now. I'm just putting in the stuff that's really black right now. Because all of this, I don't know if I'm going to. I think it's dead. Come on, you pot licker, you can do it. It's just jammed. Yeah, it's dying. Turquoise? Okay. Yay, my favorite color. I'm going to, because he's kind of like a funky dude. Oh, where did I put it? Didn't I just have it? I want to do like a funky background, and there's that coral stencil, which didn't I just have it? My coral stencil is coral. Hello, where are you? I am so losing it. Oh, here it is. I like this just because it's a little bit funky weird, you know, like because coral is weird. I mean, everybody says it, at least I do anyway. So I'm going to use this coral one, and I'm going to do it in teal. which is my favorite. I think you guys picked it just because it's my favorite, and I love you for it because you guys are awesome. And as you know me, my stencils are dirty, so we'll have some cool color changes and stuff going on. In fact, I'm pretty sure we use these with some Delusion spray inks this weekend, so we might have some fun there. Oops. Having a hard time holding this one down. All right. I missed a whole spot right there. I'm just going to add something right there. I don't like it. Dag nabbit. It's because I'm on the book crooked. And this is way more green than I was planning. But know what? It's what happens when you don't clean your stuff. And I like it when I have no control sometimes. Sometimes it's happy accidents. Sometimes it's like, oh, samana. And we all know what samana means. All right, move this over a little bit. Let's pretend this is... Oh, look at that. I think it kind of repeats itself. All right, so now I'm going to roll over this. No, that stencil is Artist Seller, and I don't know which one. It's in the Coral series for stencil set. You go on their website. You can buy them individually too. I can never remember what the individual stencils are called, so I apologize. Almost all of my stencils are Artist Seller, and that's because I'm one of their design team members. So I actually have a stencil sitting over there that I can't show you because it's not released yet. And it's a fabulous one. You're going to be so jealous. I can't remember when it gets released, actually. I think it's getting released next week, so I might be able to use it then. But I might just wait to use it until my blog post. I don't know. It's a stencil that's going to make me want to do a face, just because it's just a beautiful stencil set. So keep an eye over at Artist Seller or whatever. Excuse me. There's a Facebook page for Artist Seller as well as the website. You know what? I think he needs just a little bit of blue in his eyes, just because it's reflecting off, right? I think that's what I'm missing. I didn't have as much blue in him as I have the others. Because in the others, didn't I use blue in the shadows? The turquoise a little bit more? This time I only used it for the start. I didn't go back in and add any more. All right. So I think, as much as I want to sit here and keep on playing, I am a tease, ain't I? Yeah, but they're sitting. Where are they? Oh, look at that. I'm touching them right now. Yep, I'm touching them. And you can't see them. Like, yeah, you're not allowed to see them. So I can't show you. La 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 la. I think my platypus is done. My only thing that I do not care for is this side of his bill should have been straight, but there was no fixing it really because this area would have needed. I had already too much dark going on by the time I realized. But other than that, I think he's pretty spot on. As normal, his eye is too big. I always do big eyes. But it's this spot that irks me the most. And but honestly, there are other areas that are not great, but this is the one that irks me. But that being said, I am still going to sign it. Those of you who aren't with me don't realize, for me, there's a 3 stages of what I do. If I like it, I'll sign it. If it's okay, I'll date it. And if I am like, oh my gosh, I hate this, I'm going to cover it up, then I don't do anything. So this is what we got. We have a lovely, lovely little platypus. And no, I can't sneak peek and delete. You're just going to have to watch. So my lovely little platypus. And now I am going to, I have to go wash my dirty butt because I need a shower before I go to the museum. And if we have time, today is also free museum day at the Phoenix Art Museum. So we're going to do that too, hopefully. So big hugs, mushy stuff. Be a good girl, Earls. And well, actually, there's a couple guys who watch too. So I know there's only 6 people watching. Like I've had days where I've had like 15 people watching and nobody talks. So I don't know what's going on. But we will see you tomorrow. And let's see. What did somebody say today? Let me write down these animals real quick. Oh, I almost grabbed that stencil. Oh, here's something fun. This is the envelope the stencil came in. All right. So we have, I know there's praying mantis, hummingbird, dolphin, that's right. And I can't remember what else. I'm going to type it in here for you guys. I don't know how much of a delay I have here. You're going to hear me talking while I'm talking here in a second because I'm going to, oh, you pot licker. Did not mean to do that. So I don't know what's going on. But we will see you tomorrow. Okay. All right. I can't tell how much of a delay there is. All right. I think everybody's leaving before they give me ideas for, oh, a penguin. Penguin is a good one. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Penguin. All right, so I'm just going to keep this envelope nearby, and I'll just keep on writing on it. Why are you saying dang it? All right, so I am going to sign this off, and I will say bye, and I will say big hugs and kisses and mushy stuff. And I'm thinking this was an awesome practice for doing this guy. Next time I will know that the bill is not so rounded, and I will work with that. So, oh, koala bear. Let me write that down. Oh, king vulture of South America. That was the one. King vulture of South America. And koala. You keep your mouth shut? All right. Okay. I'm going to say bye. Big hugs, mushy stuff. Is this? Penguin is a good one. All right. There we go. All right, now I'm going to say goodbye to here. And I'm going to stop recording. And that way I will see what happens. All right. Toodaloo. Hugs and mushy stuff. Don't be afraid to give me some ideas for future.